If I told you that just 2 minutes a day could make you 7 years younger, would you believe me? It sounds crazy, but scientists from Japan and Harvard have proven it's true. In Japan, over 90,000 people live past the age of 100, while in the US, many adults, despite going to the gym, taking vitamins, and getting regular checkups, still struggle with joint pain, poor balance, and memory decline after 50. So what makes the difference? It's not genetics. It's not a strict diet. It's the way they move every single day, through simple exercises for seniors that quietly improve brain health, balance, and longevity. The Japanese have a very different philosophy about senior health. Your body doesn't need to push hard to stay healthy. It simply needs to be heard and moved the right way. They don't lift heavy weights. They don't use machines. They don't run marathons. Instead, they practice 6 gentle movements that activate the whole body, easing pain, improving circulation, and most importantly, reviving the nervous system, the very thing aging tends to weaken first. So if you're over 50 and feel your body slowing down, your knees stiffening, or your mind losing sharpness, don't rush to blame aging. You might just be aging the wrong way. In today's video, you'll discover 6 secret daily movements from Japan, simple senior health tips that require no gym, no equipment, and yet can transform your health and longevity forever.
And the moment you realize that true health isn't about doing more, but about listening to your body, that's when you enter a fascinating paradox. Those who train harder often grow weaker faster. In the West, exercise is often associated with sweat, heavy breathing, and sore muscles. People believe that to stay young, they must fight time with intensity. But for those over 50, that's like pouring fuel on a fading flame. Millions of older adults try to stay fit by running, cycling, or lifting weights, and end up with aching knees, sleepless nights, stiff shoulders, and a deep, lingering fatigue they can't explain. Their bodies don't need pressure. They need rhythm, breath, and recovery. Meanwhile, in Japan, the country with the highest number of centenarians in the world, you won't see seniors with earbuds in, running hurriedly down the street. Instead, you'll find them walking slowly, squatting deeply, stretching gently, and twisting their bodies each morning, as if they're having a quiet conversation with themselves. No one counts calories. No one checks heart rates. No one fears aging. And that's the greatest irony of all. While much of the world is busy fighting aging, the Japanese are living in harmony with it, and they're winning.
When scientists from Harvard and Stanford traveled to Okinawa in search of answers to the Japanese paradox, they expected to uncover a super nutritious diet or an ancient medical secret. But what they discovered was so simple, it was almost unbelievable. No superfoods, no supplements, just gentle, daily movements repeated every single day. They observed a 92-year-old woman squatting down to trim her bonsai trees, an 85-year-old man climbing stairs on his own, and groups of 70 and 80-year-olds gathering each morning to perform Radio Taiso, a 3-minute stretching routine broadcast nationwide with soft piano music. No one called it exercise. They called it the morning ritual for a good day. These small, almost effortless movements, balancing on one leg, twisting a towel, sitting down on the floor, and standing back up, awaken the entire nervous system, the joints, and blood circulation. They are the true exercises for seniors, designed not by the gym, but by nature itself. As one Japanese professor put it, Japanese elders don't move to stay young. They move to live fully, every single day. And in that simplicity lies a scientific wonder, one that's forcing the world to rethink what it truly means to be healthy after 50.
When the research findings were published, the Western medical community could hardly believe them. They called it the Okinawa effect, a phenomenon where people in their 80s possess the vitality and physical ability of those in their 50s. The data revealed something extraordinary. Seniors who practiced Radio Taiso daily had 40% greater joint mobility. Those who regularly performed deep squats reduced their risk of falls by 70%. People who stood on one leg every morning had 10% more gray matter in the brain, meaning sharper memory and faster reflexes. And just 2 minutes of towel twisting a day increased grip strength, a key indicator of longevity, by 30% within 3 months. The numbers may seem small, but their meaning is profound. They prove that even after 50, the body can heal and rebuild itself if we move the right way. No gym required, no medication needed, just gentle repetition and mindful movement. That simple practice rejuvenates cells, boosts circulation, and reawakens the nervous system. It's why the Japanese are able to live long, independent, and joyful lives. Not because they chase youth, but because they understand how to age wisely.
And when all the scientific evidence makes it clear that aging is not the enemy, it's the teacher that reminds us to slow down and listen to our bodies, the only thing left to do is to take action. No equipment needed, no dumbbells, no yoga mats, just a body ready to begin again. 1. Sampo, the art of slow walking. In Japan, Sampo means walking to have a conversation with yourself. It sounds simple, but it's the key to balancing the nervous system and reducing stress in older adults. How to do it? Walk at half your normal speed. Match your steps with your breath. Inhale for 2 steps, hold for 2, exhale for 4. Whenever possible, walk on natural surfaces like soil or grass instead of concrete. At first it may feel too slow, but within minutes your breathing and heartbeat will synchronize. That's when your body and mind reconnect, something most Westerners have lost after years of rushing through life. A Kyoto University study found that seniors who practiced Sampo every morning had 62% better arterial elasticity, significantly reducing their risk of stroke and stabilizing blood pressure. 2. Radio Taiso, the 3-minute morning ritual of renewal. Every morning in Japan, exactly at 6:30 a.m., soft piano music drifts from the national radio. It's not the news, it's Radio Taiso, a series of 13 gentle stretching movements performed in unison by millions of people. How to do it? Start by rolling your shoulders, reaching up and bending gently to each side. Continue with light knee bends, arm raises, and waist twists. Breathe naturally and smile. You can do it in your kitchen, living room, or small patio. No workout clothes needed. The secret lies in the movement of synovial fluid, the body's natural joint lubricant. After 50, this fluid decreases rapidly, leading to stiffness, shoulder and neck pain, and reduced mobility. Just 3 minutes every morning, and you'll begin to feel your flexibility return. 3. Deep squat rest, the lost human posture. In Tokyo, it's common to see an 80-year-old woman squatting to read the newspaper or a 75-year-old man pruning his bonsai in the same posture. It's not an exercise, it's a form of active rest. How to do it? Stand with feet shoulder-width apart and lower yourself until your heels touch the ground, keeping your back straight. If you can't balance, place a small rolled towel under your heels. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds several times a day. Benefits: it opens the hips and strengthens the thighs and knees. It keeps the spine aligned and improves digestion. It enhances independence. People who can squat and stand up easily rarely need assistance even after 80. A 12-year study at the University of Tokyo found that individuals who could hold this position for over 2 minutes were 70% less likely to end up in nursing homes. 4. Single leg standing. Balance that builds the brain. This is the only exercise officially prescribed by Japanese doctors for adults over 60. It seems small, yet it's a more accurate measure of biological age than blood pressure or cholesterol. How to do it. Stand near a wall or table for support. Lift one foot about 2 inches, 5 centimeters, off the ground and hold for 30 to 60 seconds. Keep your gaze forward and breathing steady. Once comfortable, try closing your eyes or gently turning your head for added challenge. A 15-year study from Fukuoka University, tracking 12,000 seniors, found that those who practiced single-leg standing daily had 68% fewer hip fractures, 75% fewer hospitalizations due to falls, and notably increased brain activity in regions responsible for balance and memory. Here lies the most powerful loop. Standing on one leg for just 2 minutes a day can add an average of 7 more years of life. 2 minutes, yet enough to rewire the connection between brain, muscle, balance, and longevity. 5. Floor transitions. The longevity test. In Japan, getting down to the floor and standing back up isn't a challenge, it's a way of life. People eat, drink tea, watch TV, even nap on tatami mats. How to do it. From a standing position, sit down slowly on the floor, using your hands if needed. Then stand up again, using as little hand support as possible. Repeat 2 or 3 times, several times a day. At a study of over 10,000 participants at Kyoto University, those who could sit and stand without using their hands had an 84% lower mortality rate in the following 6 years. Why? Because the movement activates 40 muscle groups and requires perfect neuromuscular coordination. If one day you find it difficult to stand up from the floor, that's your body telling you it's losing independence. And the good news, you can reverse it with just 3 minutes of daily practice. 6. Towel twist, the 2-minute miracle. It may sound funny, but this is a daily ritual among thousands of Japanese centenarians, their secret to maintaining vitality. How to do it. Hold a towel at shoulder height, hands about 16 inches, 40 centimeters apart. Gently pull the ends outward as if trying to tear it apart. Maintain tension and twist your torso to the left, hold for 3 seconds. Return to center, then twist to the right, hold for 3 seconds. Perform 10 times on each side every morning and evening. Benefits. It activates deep spinal muscles, areas often neglected in regular exercise. It strengthens grip, a direct indicator of independence in later years. It stimulates both brain hemispheres, improving memory and reaction speed. A 20-year study from Osaka University, tracking 15,000 older adults, found that those who practiced the towel twist consistently lived 7 years longer on average, with bone density and memory comparable to people 20 years younger. Remember, this isn't just an exercise, it's a daily ritual of gratitude. Every movement, every breath is a quiet way of saying thank you to your body for still walking beside you on this journey.
And when you finish these movements, perhaps just a few slow steps, a few deep breaths, or a single mindful towel twist, pause for a moment. Feel your heartbeat slowing down. Feel your breath softening like a morning breeze. That is your body coming back to life from within. You don't need to chase the youth that's past, because the real strength of being 50, 60, or even 80 isn't in speed, it's in presence. The Japanese call it ikigai, the reason to wake up each morning. Each time you stand on one leg while brushing your teeth, each time you sit down on the floor without using your hands, each time you take a deep breath in the middle of a long day, you're quietly telling your body, I'm still here, and I choose to live strong, to live with purpose. Don't think of these as exercises.
Think of them as a gentle conversation between you and yourself. Because sometimes happiness after 50 doesn't come from moving faster. It comes from standing steadier, breathing deeper, and smiling longer.
And when you feel that peaceful breath settle in, perhaps you'll realize that health isn't a destination. It's a journey you choose to walk each day. Every slow step, every small movement, every minute you give your body is a gift to your future self. If today you start with just one simple action, a slow walk, a towel twist, or simply standing on one leg for 30 seconds, then congratulations, you've already begun your journey to live healthy, live happy, and live free. Share in the comments below. Which movement will you start with? Or have you already tried one of these 6 Japanese exercises? Your story might inspire thousands of others who are on the same path, people rediscovering their own strength and vitality. If you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our newest senior health tips, exercises for seniors, and insights on Japanese longevity habits, simple ways to live slower, stronger, and healthier like the Japanese do. If today is the day you start listening to your body, then let tomorrow be the day you breathe deeper, move slower, and live more mindfully. Because the Japanese secret to longevity isn't hidden in a workout or a diet. It's found in a mindful attitude toward life itself. They don't fight aging, they flow with it, through small daily movements practiced with love, patience, and gratitude. So if today you can only hold a one-leg stand for a minute or twist the towel for 10 seconds, don't see it as little. See it as a powerful moment where you chose to live healthy and free. Stay with this channel, where together we'll learn how to age gracefully, powerfully, and meaningfully. Every week I'll share more senior health tips and exercises for seniors to help you balance better, sleep deeper, breathe easier, and love life a little more each day. Because in the end, age isn't the end of your story. It's a gentle reminder that it's time to slow down so you can live more deeply.